हेलो एवरीवन, राजपाल आप सभी का स्वागत करता हूं। एडवांस्ड वोकैबुलरी थ्रू डॉक्टर शशि थरूर्स बुक एंड इरा ऑफ डार्कनेस के इस 15th वीडियो में, इससे पहले 14th वीडियोस एडवांस्ड वोकैबुलरी पे आपके साथ शेयर कर चुका हूं। ये 15वां वीडियो है। उम्मीद करता हूं कि आप इस वीडियो लेक्चर सीरीज से भरपूर फायदा उठाएंगे और जो टेक टीम की तरफ से इस वीडियो सीरीज को आप तक पहुंचाने में मेहनत की गई है, उसका आप पुरजोर फायदा उठाएंगे। और एक महत्वपूर्ण सूचना, इससे पहले कि मैं ये आखिरी वीडियो जो ऑनगोइंग लेक्चर सीरीज का आखिरी वीडियो है, उससे पहले मैं आपसे एक महत्वपूर्ण सूचना भी साझा करना चाहूँगा कि इस वीडियो सीरीज में जो आखिरी लेक्चर है, जैसा कि मैंने आपको पहले बताया था, वो होगा एक बुक एनालिसिस की फॉर्म में। इसी बुक पर, इन इरा ऑफ डार्कनेस पर ही वो डिस्कशन रहेगा। तो वो उसी डिस्कशन के साथ में टेक प्लेटफॉर्म से टेक टॉक फेस्ट नाम की एक सीरीज शुरू हो रही है। उस सीरीज में हम बात करेंगे किसी एक एक्सपर्ट से, किसी एक थिंकर, एजुकेशनिस्ट, टीचर से हम उस पर बात करेंगे। उसमें पार्टिसिपेंट्स कोई भी हो सकते हैं, जरूरी नहीं कि उसके अंदर पार्टिसिपेंट मैं ही रहूं। और दो किस्म, और बिल्कुल ऑल टुगेदर 2 different people may be the part of that tech talk fest. So tech talk fest is going to be inaugurated very soon, in a day or so. That would be followed by this video. So अब आपसे एक रिक्वेस्ट और भी करना चाहूंगा कि जिस प्रकार का आपका वार्म रिसेप्शन रहा है, उसके चलते आई एम टेम्प्टेड टू make an earnest and handful request that if you have not subscribed tech, kindly do subscribe it. And as being an active player in the dissemination of knowledge, please do share this platform with your fellow friends who are engaged in learning language and ideas. So with this appeal, let me talk to the word combinations, phrases, and focal points an era of darkness through PPT as a standardized practice of sharing vocabulary with you through tech. So here we go with the first slide from the current slide. Yes. And these are the only 2 slides. It's going to be a very small video. I request you to watch till end, and please do comment, like, share, and subscribe if you have not subscribed tag. So phrases, phrases and word combinations are lesser in these 2 videos. There are some focal points which Dr. Shashi Tharoor lashes out as trenchant criticism, particularly Nirand C. Chaudhary. He calls him a poster child of British colonialism and all that. So let's start. An intriguing example of the successful colonization of the Indian mind. Britishers ने Indian mind को colonize किया, and even we talk in the streets of post-colonial theory कि क्या अभी decolonization of mind हो चुका है? Britishers ने they colonized almost every part of the world. So has decolonization taken place completely, or still we are having those colonial practices, or we are carrying forward those colonial practices? So the intriguing example of the successful colonization of the Indian mind is that of the notorious Anglophile Nirand C. Chaudhary. So Dr. Tharoor calls him notorious Anglophile. Nirand C. Chaudhary को Dr. Shashi Tharoor notorious Anglophile कहते हैं. The Bengali intellectual and author of the best-selling autobiography of an unknown Indian, 1955, with its cringe-worthy dedication of the British Empire in India. And what he writes, Dr. Tharoor quotes, and I quote further one step in this PPT. Because all that was good and living within us was made, shaped, and quickened by the same British rule. These are the words of notorious Anglophile Neeran C. Chaudhary, as per the understanding of Dr. Tharoor. So Chaudhary is a poster child for scholarly studies of how empire creates native informants. नेटिव इन्फॉर्मेंट्स किस प्रकार से ब्रिटिशर्स ने क्रिएट किए, किस प्रकार से उनको इजाद किया, वो यहाँ पे दिखता है नीरन सी चौधरी के केस में. Alienated from and even abhorring their own cultures and societies, and such Anglophiles were, alienated from their not only alienated, but they detested, they hated their own cultures and societies. Self-othering, a curious correlation between dislike for one's own body and yearning for foreign rule. These two processes of self-othering, आपने आप को ही एक दूसरा बना लिया, आपने सेल्फ अदरिंग, एक तो दूसरे के कंपैरिजन में आप अदर बने, एक आप अपने खुद के ही कंपैरिजन में you become other. A ruthless process that aimed to denationalize and de-Indianize them. So the entire crusade was to denationalize and de-Indianize Indians. Staunch defenders of colonial rule, staunch defenders of women's rights, staunch defenders of the rights of the downtrodden, staunch defenders of liberty, staunch defenders of the liberty of expression. So जो committed defender है किसी भी चीज का, उसके लिए आप staunch defenders और staunch advocate word use कर सकते हैं. Albeit it means although, albeit he is hardworking, yet he is not honest. Professor Gauri Vishwanathan has done pioneering work on the role of the study of English literature in colonial India as a means of socializing and co-opting Indian elites during the early 19th century. And this is, I personally agree with this notion that the elite class of India that was studying English and English literature, those were co-opted, and they, in the means of socializing, even the Britishers socialized with them so that they can co-opt them, they can use them as native informants, and they can proliferate their own ideology through them. So it was a part of the European hegemony to co-opt and socialize with the elites of the colonies. And this seems to be very true. Even if we see the trio, Mulk Rajanand, R.K. Narayan, and Raja Rao, even in those, these were the pioneering writers, Indian writers in English. So if we see their works, even recently I read a book, I read a novel by R.K. Narayan, The Dark Room. And in that particular novel, if I talk in brief about that, in that particular note, I was saying that this is going to be a small video, but it's going to be a longer one if I go into detail, taking up this issue of the great Indian trio, R.K. Narayan, Mukraj Anand, and Raja Rao. But those traces of the Britishers, they are becoming, I should say that they right to please the British masters, as it was in the case of R.K. Narayan and Mulk Anand and Raja Rao. So if we see all these works like Kuli, The Untouchable, and The Dark Room, then they are not creating any glorified or realistic picture of Indian society. Even they go up to the extent of selling the brother-sister relationship as it is in Untouchable. And even in The Dark Room, they insult the very idea of womanhood and women at workplace, the way the patriarchal people treat them, and the way the patriarchs see them. But without going into that particular discussion, this is a point that the English literature in colonial India as a means of socializing, co-opting Indian elites during the early 19th century. Macaulayan prejudice that European knowledge was axiomatically superior to Oriental learning. Initial visceral rejection, emotional rejection, visceral rejection, neo-imperial wedge, default slogan. Next is redoubtable bestsellers. conspicuous consumption. And then we have the sun never set on the British Empire. This was being said by and loudly it was claimed by the Britishers. And then a nationalist, Indian nationalist, sardonically commented, because even God couldn't trust the English in the dark. And this is one of the pithy one-liners in Dr. Tharoor's Oxford speech, which went viral across the globe. A song that nerves a nation's heart, the stamp of colonial jackboot, vain speculative dreams, presciently observed new ways of being and becoming, the benefits of which are also accruing to India, regrettable consequences, myriad instances. My critics could not have been more wrong to come into play, to scratch your collective heads. A significant gesture of atonement. The whole idea of atonement is going to be discussed in that TEC Talk Fest, which is on your way very soon. And I cannot pinpoint the source. Something vague that comes to your mind, you can use this word combination and this sentence while referring to such a case. Recent years have seen the rise of what the academic Paul Guillory called post-colonial Melconialia, the yearning for the glories of empire. It is no coincidence that कोई इत्तेफाक नहीं है ये, or coincidence, ittifaq, coincidentally I met him on the way to the temple. The paraphrase of our global village, and yet one must quantify this Roji notion. So Roji notion, very comfortable and thrilling notion, and this is the word that you must have been waiting for, much awaited word. Thank you. And this is my appeal to you. Kindly like, share, comment, and connect by subscribing. This video series on advanced vocabulary completes here. I'm very joyous that we successfully completed it for you. Now, the richness of the hard work, the toil that we have put into it depends on you, whether you make the most of it or not. My efforts are over in regard to this video series. Now it's time for your efforts to start, because the change in you would come once you make the most of it. So with these words, I thank you, and I recommend this advanced vocabulary lecture series to all the language aspirants, those who wish to write essays and good answers. And I would recommend it to one and all who is engaged in academics. So with this recommendation and request, I thank you all for watching the video till the end. If you have not subscribed the channel, kindly do subscribe and share it with your friends. Thank you so much.